welcome to video 6. We talked about the basic building blocks for chords. We've been building chords using major thirds and minor thirds. If we add another third, we get a ninth chord. We can get major 9, minor 9, dominant 9, and add 9 chords. Okay, now I want to take some time and talk about suspended chords. Now, before we've talked about suspended chords, let's go back to major and minor chords. Here's an E major. Here's an E minor. The one note that stays constant is the fifth. The fifth doesn't change. Whether it's a dominant seventh or a major 7 or a minor 7, that fifth is still there. Okay? Now what a suspended chord is a chord that does not have a third. The third is removed, or maybe it's replaced with another note. Then that chord becomes a suspended chord. And basically what that means is that the chord loses its identity. It can't really be pegged as a major, and it can't really be pegged as a minor. It's a suspended. Okay? So here we have a D chord. Here's the D note. Here is the fifth. Here's the D note an octave higher. And here is the third. Now if we flat the third, we have a D minor. So let's go back up to the D major. If we go 1/2 step higher and play the fourth, that chord becomes suspended because there's no third in the chord. And because the fourth is replacing the third, it becomes a suspended fourth. Okay. So here we are in our D major chord. Now what we'll do is we'll remove this and play the second. That is a D suspended second because the second note now replaces the third. So D, D suspended fourth, D suspended second. Now, what's cool about these chords is that it also works in a minor. Here's a D minor, and here's your suspended fourth, and here's your suspended second. So you can see you can use suspended chords in major and minor chords. You can use them to replace either one of those. So I'm going to do the minor. Let me give you another example. Here is an A chord. Okay, so here we have our A. Here's our fifth. Here is the A an octave higher. Here's our third. And that E is also a fifth. So here we go. This note on the B string, that's our third. So if we drop that down 1/2 step, we have A minor. But let's go back to our A major. Now, if we go up 1/2 step, okay, we replace the third with the fourth. Okay, so now we have a suspended fourth. Now, if we take off this finger, and this is the second, now we have there's an A suspended second chord. Because the second is replacing the third. So here's our third, here's our suspended fourth, here's our suspended second. Now it also works when we're playing minor. Here's an A minor, here's an A minor, here's our suspended fourth, here's our suspended second.
Here's a D chord with all the scale degrees. When we raise the third and replace it with a fourth, we get a suspended fourth. If we flat the third, we get a D minor. If we replace the third with a second, we get a suspended second. Here's an A chord. By replacing the third with the fourth, we have a suspended fourth. If we flat the third, we have a minor chord. If we replace the third with a second, we have an A suspended second.
Okay, so far we've covered suspended chords, we've covered major, minor, diminished, and augmented chords, we've covered seventh chords, but there's a chord that I really like that I want to cover called an Ad9. Now, we have other kinds of nines. For example, here's a dominant ninth right here. Here's a major nine. Okay. Here is a minor nine. Here's a minor nine right here. But we also have an Ad9 chord. And what makes an Ad9 chord is a chord that has no seventh. If the chord does not have a seventh and you just add the ninth note in the scale, you have an Ad9 chord. For example, here is a D. Okay? We have our D, here we have our fifth, here's our D an octave higher. If we go up one step to this note right here, we have a 9, because we're past the octave. Where here's a D an octave higher, which is actually the 8th note in the scale. Then the 9th note in the scale is this one. Okay? If we add that note instead of playing the D note, we have an Ad9 chord. And this is what an Ad9 chord sounds like. This also works for minor. Here we have a minor. Okay? Here's our D note, an octave higher, and we're going to play the chord like this. I know that's a stretch, but this is what it sounds like. Those are Ad9 chords. Let me give you another example. Here is an A chord. Here's our A. Here's our fifth. Here's the A an octave higher. Now we're an octave higher. We're going to add that 9th note right there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to reconfigure our A. We're going to play our A like this. Okay, because we're taking this note and moving it up here. So we're going to play it like this, and here's our A Ad9 chord right here. We could do the same thing with A minor. Here's A minor. Here's our A, an octave higher, and we'll just play this note, our 9th note, for A minor, and this is what it sounds like. Let me give you another example. Here's an E chord. Here's an E note. Here's our fifth. Here's an E, an octave higher. So if we take this note and move it up here, we have an E Ad9. Okay, we can do the same thing with minor. Here's our E minor chord. Here's our E. Here's our fifth. Here's our E an octave higher. We're just going to play this note instead of this note. This is our E minor Ad9. Ad9 chords sound great when they're finger picked. When they strum, kind of lose a little bit of the definition, but if you're going to finger pick or play this chord with separate notes, you can really get some great sounding stuff. Ad9 chords, I love Ad9 chords. They're some of my favorite chords to use. Okay, now I would like to take some time and cover the 9 type chords. Okay, we're going to start with a dominant 9. Now, whenever you are reading a chord chart and it says D9, they mean dominant 9, okay? And this is a dominant 9 chord, okay? Now, here is your root note, here's your third, here's your 7, and here's your 9. Okay? Now, if you flat the third, like right there, play the notes in the middle, now you have a D minor 9 because you flat the third. I'm going to go back to a dominant 9. Okay, now if you take the 7th and you make it sharp, you have a D major 9. Okay, so we have dominant, minor 9, major 9. We've already covered a D add 9. Okay. We can add this note too to our dominant chord, and it sounds like this. It's a very bluesy chord. It's used in blues. Matter of fact, sometimes in blues, they don't use the root note, and you just get this. And what you can do is you just bar the 4th fret and bar the 5th fret. And just get that. Very bluesy chord. Also used in funk. Same chord. You're just not playing the root note.